Hi Shrestha. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes before we start. Am I audible? Hello Chandrani. Hello. Am I audible? Thank you for confirming. So I'll just wait for a couple of minutes before we start today's live. In case I'm not audible at times, please let me know over through the comments, okay? My voice tends to drop in between. How are you? খুব weak sound করছিস আমি I'm better than before. Weak তো আছেই, and not too good. I think medicines could have some impacts on your stomach, so you tend to get a lot of other unnecessary problems which was not there. তো খুব ভালো নেই, but it's okay, চলছে. কটা বাজে? What is the time right now? Let me see. 8:02. I will just wait for one more minute and then we shall start today's live on self-worth. So let's just wait for one more minute and then we shall start. Side effects টাই বেশি খারাপ করে. Get well soon. Thank you so much. Okay, I think we can start and people can join slowly and steadily. So self-worth, this has been a requested topic from many people. Many of my patients are suffering from self-worth issues, and those who are suffering, most of them are not attending the live because and they will not watch the recorded video too. The reason is, I might complain, I might just say that there are issues that we have, but I might not want it to get solved, because if I solve those issues, many things which I'm holding on to my life will actually go away from me, and those things are not adding any value to my life. And the reason I'm talking about this is, these choices actually talk a lot about self-worth. So before I start explaining what is self-worth and what all we will talk about it, so I am asking each one of you, what do you think is self-worth? Right. Yeah, kind of. Thank you, Shrestha. So Devjani is there, I see Chandrani is there, and many other people are watching me live right now. So I'm just asking, what do you think? What does self-worth mean to you? Sorry for the bad throat. I'm still recovering. Good evening, Devjani. What do you think? So anybody, what do you mean by self-worth? Okay, Shomaldo is writing, valuing myself and not allowing anyone to demean me. Correct. Any other definition of self-worth? Anybody? What does it mean to you? There is no right or wrong answer. Whatever it means to you. Because this has been a requested topic, that's why I have come live with this. Self-esteem, self-value. Okay. All right. Self-worth is like you, how you close to yourself. Would you like to elaborate a little bit about this? Self-worth is like how you close to yourself. I'm sorry, quite did not understand that. Would you like to elaborate a little bit? Self-realization. Okay. Love for self, taking care of self, both mentally and physically. Okay, I have got different types of definition, and I'm going to start with something which is the universally accepted Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So I'm going to read it out to you. Self-worth is defined by Merriam-Webster as a feeling that you are a good person who deserves to be treated with respect. Self-esteem is what we think and feel and believe about ourselves. Self-worth is recognizing I am greater than all of those things. It is a deep knowing that I am of value, that I am lovable, necessary to this life, and of incomprehensible worth. So basically, it is the kind of a mixture of all the definition that I saw over here. It's basically means that the what do I how do I see myself, like what is my understanding of my worth in this world, how much do I respect myself, and so that I know how to create those boundaries so that people don't step onto my self respect. So that is how Merriam-Webster has defined self worth. Now, self worth, self esteem, self love, these are all different aspects of the same thing, but of course, they mean a little different. Self worth is a summary, it's like the sum total of self worth, self love, self realization, everything all together at one particular place. So, the thing is, now if that is what, if all of us know this kind of the definition of self-worth, then why do we suffer from self-worth issues? Why do at certain point of our time in our life we suffer from a lack of self-love, lack of self-worth, or lack of self-esteem? Why do you think we suffer from self-worth issues? Self-respect to one's own self, yes. So why do you think at certain point of time people can easily step onto our self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, whatever you want to call it, and we genuinely suffer mentally, lot more mentally than physically? Why do you think, if we are so aware of this definition, what happens in our real life that we suffer from self-worth? What happens? Or let me make this much easier for you to answer. What do you think are the reasons, some of the reasons, or that impacts our self-worth? Or suddenly the kind my value is like this and something happens and it falls like this. Ideally it should not, but it does. In reality it does. Each one of us have gone through some periods of where we have questioned our self-worth. What are some of the reasons? What do you think? Any one reason you can just say, just the reason. And I will talk about the actual reasons also. So what do you think are the reasons which impacts our self-worth? Anybody? Comparing ourselves to others whom we perceive as better than us. Absolutely correct. This is one like right, spot on. One thing is when we compare our life, compare our success, compare our achievements with somebody else's. Bullies. Yes. Anything else? Shrestha, Debjani, anybody else would like to answer that? Any other reasons? So if in case your self-worth has been impacted, what was the reason? Why? So as Shomalo said that, when we compare our lives, our achievements with others, and Chandrani said bullies. So one thing is common in both of them, that is people. People impact our self-worth. So, and when our comparison of our lifestyle with others also impact our self-worth. What else? What do you think are the reasons which impacts your self-worth? Anybody else would like to answer that? And I've noted down a few pointers, and that is also according to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, by the way. And trust me, these are the universally accepted definition, and these are absolutely incorrect. And that's why I have made a special mention of these factors. One of the major factors which impacts our self-worth, according to the universally accepted definition of self-worth across the world, it's appearance. You know how much we measure on the scale ill treatment from parents and dear ones. So people. So yes. So how much we measure on the scale due to childhood traumas, abuse like social bullies, log kya kahenge, yeah, people. Okay. So no matter how many reasons we try to point out, the reason I was talking about this is, no matter how many reasons we try to find out, it will either fall under people or situation. These are the two major reasons under which it can be categorized. Yes, I was about to say that. Okay. So, appearance is one major thing which impacts self-worth according to the body shaming, correct? According to universally accepted psychological definition, and it's such a shame that people still accept that. How much do you weigh on the weighing machine is one major reason which impacts a lot of people's self-worth, because of which we have so much of eating disorders like bulimia, anorexia, and all these things. And of course, thanks to the billboard, to the posters, to the glamour world, who have kind of idealized the hourglass figures and things like that, which has impacted the entire entire generation, right? Also the kind of clothes people wear. I'm not sure if you have noticed that if you go into a mall and then there are sizes from XS to triple XL, two categories of people who get body shamed are the XS and those who are on the XL plus sizes. The middle ones are still okay, but even if people have a problem with everything, right? Like you are on the lower side of the scale, then also it's a problem. You're on the higher side of the scale, then also it's a problem. And the problem is with them, and they tend to eat into your head, they tend to eat into your self-worth, because that is what they have been told, that how much you weigh on the scale determines your self-worth, that determines how much confident you would be. Ideally there is no scientific amiachi, yes, amioachi. So there is no scientific relation between confidence and the size of the dress that you wear. There is no scientific correlation between them. It is all a societal pressure that has been put on us, and we tend to, generation wise, we have been passing on this societal pressure onto other people also. If I have been bullied because of, or I have been body shamed, then it is also my responsibility to ensure that I don't do this. But sometimes I've seen such people who have been body shamed, they also body shame other people, because they have been passing that generation wise practices to others, and that's absolutely incorrect. So amioachi acha, I would like to say something. I stopped going to a doctor because there they used to weigh before you enter the doctor's chamber. This was because other people would laugh and stare at me, khub chape. In fact, most of the hospitals, that is one of the practice that they do. Even when I visit the gynecologist, they do the same thing, but I have tend to ignore that. Nurses actually make some facial expression. But also I would like to say here, most of the time people are not even making any facial expression, but this whole concept of body shaming has been so much ingrained in our head that we think that people are laughing at us. Actually nobody is doing it. Sometimes nobody is doing it. We feel that people are doing it because it is such a big issue in our society. So appearance, and it is not only about body weight. Appearance, আমি তো সেই কবে থেকেই আছি. So appearance is not only about body weight, it is also about the color of the skin. How much hair do you have? I have heard so many people, especially if you visit a marriage, ওমা চুলগুলো তো সব পড়ে গেছে, কি এরকম এরকম অবস্থা কেন? So people will tend to make a joke out of your appearance without knowing that how much of medical issues you probably have gone through. Somebody who goes through TB, somebody who goes through COVID, for example, they tend to have hair loss. Even I am having hair loss right now because of this COVID, and I know I will get over it, but people are not able to notice it if, or in case of me, but there are many people जिनके लिए people would be able to notice it. चूल पड़े गए, चूल पेके गए, yes. So appearance is one. Second thing is another very important aspect which people think impacts their self-worth is how many people are, whom do they know in their social circle. They tend to take a lot of pride. জানিস আমি অমুককে চিনি, মুঝে वो पता है, I know him, I know her. So basically this is called reflected glory. You don't have anything to be happy or very confident about yourself, so you tend to try to borrow the confidence about based on how many people, influential people you are aware of, or how many influential people you know. So that is another thing. These are I've taken these pointers from uh, DSM, like the Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Psychology, so, and across, the universally accepted definitions from the dictionaries. So just understand that even our dictionary, when we are going through it, these are the examples that we are being told. All right. Third is, what do you do in your career? So if you don't have a career, you anyways, तुम तो कुछ नहीं करते, वेल्ले बैठे हो. That is another thing. So my self-worth is dependent on what I am doing or what kind of career. Sometimes you have a career, sometimes, but they are, those people don't consider it as a part of, as a worthy career, so they tend to put you down. I have seen many people trying to do this with homemakers, and homemakers are the one who are actually running the entire show when they are not going out. So they tend to do this. I have seen that so many times. So this is one thing. What kind of career people are invested in? Next is, what do you achieve based on your achievements? क्या क्या कर लिया, क्या किया पूरे जिंदगी भर? So maybe you have done so many things, small things which matters to you, but it does not matter to them. So क्या कर लिया तुमने? So they tend to question these things. They tend to question your achievement. लोग दिखावा नहीं है तो तुम कुछ नहीं करते. Correct. So the point is, these 4 pointers, people think these are the reasons, these are the pointers which impacts my self-worth. But the fact is, these are the pointers which does not impact your self-worth. And when your self-worth is dependent on certain people, certain things, certain achievements, the chances are that your self-worth will get impacted at certain point of your time in your life. Self-worth is dependent based on what you have internally, what kind of person you are inside, how many people you have been able to make, how तुमको देखे कितने लोग हंसे हैं, like how many people, or in how many cases you have been able to generate smile, or have you been able to do anything worthy of your life that people would remember you. So things like that, it can be as small as a molecule, but something which is of importance, not which is important to the society. So the complete misunderstanding. Now, there are certain misunderstanding that I have noted down based on the number of sessions I have had with people who had self-worth issues. People think their self-worth is based on their to-do list, the number of activities they have in their to-do list, and if they have been able to do all of them, then they are confident, then their self-worth is on place. So that is one issue. Next one is the job that I already spoke about. Third and major one in today's world, the social media following. You know how many followers I have in Insta, how many followers I have in our page, this, that, blah, blah, and their self-worth is based on that. An absolute virtual world which means nothing in today's world. Okay. Next is the self-worth for some people is dependent on their age. अभी तो बहुत उम्र हो चुकी है, मेरा बर्थडे आने वाला है, and then I go into depression, और 1 साल बढ़ गया. So it's on my age. It's not on the kind of achievement I have made, but it is based on my age. Next is, of course, other people. I don't know how much I have been able to achieve unless other people are praising me. So my self-worth is dependent on how much other people are telling me how much I have achieved, instead of me doing an estimate of what I have been able to achieve. Our grades, now this, our parents are also responsible. Many parents and school teachers are also responsible for these grades, where the students are being told that 90% nahi laye to koi fayda nahi. I've seen my sister doing it. I've seen that her doing it with her children. So it is not that, like, this was an age old concept. People are still doing it, and that is such a shame. The number of friends you have, those she has so many friends. She has an happening life. I don't have any friends, so that's why my self-worth is 0. I don't need to have any friend. I can just be friend with myself and with nature, with pets and anything. That's absolutely okay. Also, your relationship status, this one is my favorite. Your relationship status and your self-worth is dependent. So if I am I'm in a committed relationship, that means what? That I can talk about it. So basically, spouse is, as if spouse or boyfriend or whatever it is a trophy. It is not a fellow traveler. He or she is not a fellow traveler. He is like a trophy. And you have achieved a trophy and you're kind of showcasing it. So if you're married, your self-worth is very high because that is how the society accepts it, right? And of course, the amount of money that you have. So if you have too much money, if you have that, too much is very subjective, although if you have money, then you feel that you're worthy of all this thing. Now all these pointers are actually a misunderstanding, a complete misnomer. The thing is, these are all external factors. If your self-worth is dependent on external factors, then the most important thing that will happen is at one point of your time, when these factors is not there, your self-worth will also go along with it. It is self-worth, not neighbor worth, not anybody else's worth. It is your worth. And your worth should only be dependent on the qualities you have, on the abilities you have, rather than what you achieve, how much bank balance you have, how many friends you have. The reason people suffer from self-worth issues are because they have just shifted their focus from this self to other selves. And those other selves are the one who are bringing down this self. So there the problem lies. So I have written down 5 activities. And I'm going to ask you these questions right now to help you understand that what is self-worth. These activities, these questions, if you ask, then you would understand what factors really contribute to the self-worth. Okay, so the first thing is increasing your self-understanding. So let's consider that suddenly one fine morning everything is taken away from you. Everything, whatever you have, everything is taken away from you. Just think for a while. Okay, I'm going to go it a little slow here because I want answers from people who are watching me live right now. Just one fine morning, everything is taken away from you. Your bank balance, your house, everything has been taken away from you. The people on whom your self-worth is dependent, everything. Now the question that I would like to ask you is, if everything is taken away from you suddenly and all that you are left with is yourself, nobody else, nothing else, how would that make you feel? That is my first question, and I would like an answer to this, please. Any one-word answer would also do. How would that make you feel? Everything is taken away from you. Your position, your job, your money, everything is taken away from you. How would you feel? Your relationships. Anybody? People are in a contemplating mood. Okay. Anyone? Very difficult question, right? Suddenly nothing is there. How would that make you feel? Empty, lost. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? Devastated. All right. So everything, whatever, lost, lonely. Okay. So basically, most of us, 99% of us, we have placed values to the things or people that we have in our life, which is very natural. That there is nothing wrong in this. Okay. So my next question to you is, if everything is taken away from you and you feel lonely, and now I ask you, can you give me one thing that you have right now which is of immense value to you? What would you answer? You have lost everything. Everything has been taken away from you and you are feeling devastated. At that point of time, I come and ask you that anything couldn't comprehend, but sad definitely. Correct. So now I'm asking you, so if everything has been taken away from you, no house, no money, nothing, no people, what is of immense value to you? And you said me, myself. Okay. Chandrani, Shomanlo, Debjani. What is of immense value to you then? And I ask you that everything has been taken from you, people feeling devastated. So what is very valuable still now with you? Family? But you don't have family. Everything is taken away from you, Chandrani. Everything. People, money, job, everything has been taken. You are the only person or anything that you have is yourself. So what is now very important or of immense value to you now? Extreme important ones only. that you don't have anybody. Inner peace. Okay? So you don't have any people, nobody in your life. But you still have something to hold on to. Something would be there. Mental peace. So nothing is there, you still have peace, you still have something. The reason why I'm asking this question is, if Shrestha said it, it's only me I can offer. Correct. And that is all that you should offer to yourself when it comes to self-worth. So Shrestha actually answered the right thing. When you everything is taken away from you, the only thing you have is yourself. And this yourself is the primal thing, or the primal person, which will which is the main root cause, root chakra, whatever you want to call it, is the reason behind your self-worth. It is not the people, it is not your family, it is not the things. I know that when many people say a lot of things to us, it is we tend to feel very bad, because they are very close to us. But along with this, also think that when people are impacting, when I am being offended by people so easily, it also means that I can be easily manipulated. I'm going to repeat this again. This is a very important statement in our psychology. We believe this, that if I get offended very easily by people, it also means that I can be manipulated very easily. That means that my worth, my mood, my emotions, everything is dependent on what others are doing to me, rather than what I have here internally. Right? That's why if I can be offended by other people, then other people can also manipulate me very easily. And that also impacts my self-worth. Okay, think on these things. These are very heavy statements I'm giving, but just think on this for a while. So the point is, no matter what happens to me externally, and no matter whatever is taken away from me, I am not affected internally. Yes, of course, it is very easy to say. You might just say, "Ha, paisa le liya," you would not be affected. Yes, I will be affected, but I know that I would have the capability to generate that amount again, because I have had suffered losses before. I have had been bankrupt before, and then I have put forward, like, I know that I have the talent inside that nobody can take from me. So anything which cannot be taken from you are the reasons behind your self-worth. Yes. Yes, Shrestha, what is your question? So while I'm waiting for question from Shrestha, I will keep on saying these things. So whatever cannot be taken away from you, no matter how bankrupt the situation is or how bad the situation around you is, are the actual reasons that should be impacting your self-worth, not something which can be taken away from you. Okay, now if we go into a little bit of deeper questions, which I'm just waiting for Shrestha's question before I answer, or I'll just continue with it. Okay, now if I ask you these questions, who am I? Who am I not? These are the questions. You don't have to answer these things. These questions basically adds up or sums up what is your self-worth. Who am I? Who am I not? How am I? How am I in the world? How do others see me? How do others speak about me? What key life moments define who I am? What brings me the passion, the fulfillment, the joy? Where do I struggle most? Where do I need to improve? What fear often holds me back? What habitual emotion hurts me? What mistakes do I tend to make? Where do I consistently let myself down? Finally, what abilities do I have, and what am I really good at? If you think on all these questions one by one, taking your time after the live, if you spend, like, let's say 10-15 minutes and you answer these questions, that is your self-worth. You know what you are really, what is impacting you, how things are impacting you, what abilities you have, how much you have been able to comprehend yourself, what are your fears, what are your areas of opportunity. All these answers, these are you what should build up yourself for, because nobody can take that away from you. Okay, spend some time with each of these questions. You don't have to answer these to me or anybody for that matter, but these questions I'm telling you, because self-worth is this. It is not appearance, it is not how much money I have, it is not how much I weigh on the scale, it is not how much what other people say about me, it is not of that, it is not how, what kind of job that I do. Okay, so self-worth is knowing the what I'm good at, what I'm bad at. It is the good, bad, ugly. Everything is self-worth. So if somebody asks me what is my self-worth, I know that I can connect with people very well. Okay, how to stop letting someone make me feel bad? How to stop impacting from someone or others? Very good questions, Rishta. I was about to talk about this, but good that you asked me. Um, I think to do this, we have to go a little bit beyond, and we have to understand that whom we have given the power of our life to. So, if I am a passenger and I am sitting in a car, let's say you have booked an Uber or an Ola, which anyways doesn't come on time. So, where you finally the car came and you are sitting inside the car, but you have not given a travel destination. So now you're completely dependent on this person, wherever this person is taking you. But if you have, yeah, I'm not ignoring, I'm not asking you to ignore, I'm just telling you something else. So, if you're giving the, what should I say, if you're giving the power to the Uber driver, then you will land up in a destination where you never wanted to land. And that is the reason Uber asks for where do you want to go, because they need to know where exactly you want to go, and sometimes they are even show the way also, that how you should be going, right? Everything in our life we take such specific decisions, such well measured decisions, but when it comes to our own life, we sit in the passenger seat and then we tend to give the driver seat to sometime this person, sometime that person, sometime some other person. This is one situation. The other situation is we sit in the driver's seat but we think this is the only way to reach the destination, and we become like those horses. You know, horses have blinkers, they don't see here and there, they just go like this. So what happens is there, and when we land to the destination, we might just not like the destination at all. After so many years, we might just say that was the wrong thing I did. Maybe, just maybe, you might not have seen the red flags that were all around because you were putting the blinkers on. So the most important answer to your particular question, which is a question for most of the people, is whom are you giving the power of your life to? You just have to decide that much. Because people, those people who discuss people, small-minded people discuss people. The people who are not small-minded, they will discuss opportunities, they will discuss activities. Only small-minded people will discuss other people. So if somebody is impacting you to that level, you really need to understand whether that person at all deserves to sit in the car in which you are there or not. Just because that a person has traveled with you for a certain distance does not mean that the person needs to continue to travel with you throughout the life. You might just drop those people from your life and make your car a little bit more spacious so that right people can tend to get hop onto your car. It is still okay to have a solo drive or solo travel in your life rather than having it with the wrong kind of people, because they mess up the journey and they spoil the entire destination. So you really need to take those moment and understand what is this person bringing to the table. If this person is impacting me so much, so how to stop impacting from someone who is very close to you, or you depend on them mentally, or you believe and have trust on them. If I trust them, people, but they are impacting me in a wrong way, then I will have a very clear cut discussion. If I am the person, I will have a very clear cut discussion with them that what you are doing is impacting me in a wrong way, or what you are doing is actually not adding any value to me. And I will start distancing myself a little bit. Again, if I have given a lot of access in my life to that person, I will start cutting it off a little bit and see how the person is reacting. Also, I would see how the person is doing it or behaving with other people, other groups of people. because I need to understand, is it the person's nature to behave like this, or to bring down people universally, or is it just me? If it's just me, then is it only because the person has some issues with me, or is the person suffering from their own problems? There is this thing that I always keep on quoting: if you don't if you don't heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on people who did not cut you. So many people who are trying to bring us down, they are basically those group of people who are actually healing themselves also. So how they behave does not tell a lot, does not say a lot about you. It says a lot about them. So if you think you can help them, help them. But if you think that while helping them, it is actually impacting your mental peace, it is better to start maintaining a little bit more distance with them. And if the person comes around, great. If the person doesn't come around, then it is important to know when to stop. As I always say, genius is to know when to stop. You can still continue to trust these people and depend on these people, but depending on trash, you will land in trash. So you need to understand whom to depend on. You probably have dependent on the wrong group of people. So you have to take certain calls in that. Okay. So whatever you have, your self-worth should be dependent on whatever you have, good, bad, ugly. Okay, I accept all of that. If I have something ugly, I would try to change it. If I have some areas of improvement, if people I trust, they tell me and I know that's an area of improvement, I will work on that also. So everything is noted, but it is not only good. I'm a human being, I have everything, good, bad, ugly, and I will work on all of that aspect. But that is not dependent on what people say about me. कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे is something which we keep on sending reels. The reason is that people are the one which impacts our self-worth. It's like you cannot ignore them also. Yeah, you don't have to ignore them. You don't have to ignore them. Thing is that when you know that, let's say somebody from your family, your family members, you stay with them, you can't ignore them, but they are the one who are constantly putting you down, especially in front of others. Then you really need to have a very open communication with them. And when you see that it is still not working, it is important to maintain distance or create certain situation where they do not get a chance where they will do it again, and stop it then and there. Don't cry after the milk has been spilled. You have to cry before, or you have to take action before the milk is spilled. Because if this person is a constant defaulter, you would know that the person is about to behave like that. So at that point only you stop them, or say completely change the course of the situation in your favor. So you can do this thing. So while you trust them, don't trust anybody blindly. I would always say that never trust anyone blindly, because you never know, the equation of relationships changes. So don't trust anyone blindly apart from yourself. So trust yourself. That is very important. Okay. Always remind yourself your self-worth. That is very important, and it is not dependent on any external factors. You do not need to please other people. The only person you need to please is when you stand in front of the mirror, the reflection that you see, that is whom you want to please. No. And you, I did not understand that. Okay, whatever it means. So you do not need to please anyone. As long as you're happy with yourself, that is it. That's it. You don't need to answer anybody else in this world. That is the most important thing. If whatever you're doing makes you happy, you are not answerable to anybody else, as long as it does not harm or hurt anyone. Okay. Another thing is, and I think that is the most important, I meant apart from myself and you. Yeah, I know that. Another thing which I would say to all of you is, take responsibility for yourself. We all have taken wrong decisions in our life. It's okay. We have learned from it. And once you have learned from it, move on with the learning. Don't stay in that moment. Learn to forgive people, because when you forgive people, you feel lighter. As I always say, if you hold a burning coal in your hand, you expect other people to burn, it doesn't work like that. Your skin is what gets burnt. So let them go. Let those hurt go, no matter how bad it has happened. Because if you continue to hold on to anything negative, or any negative people, or any negative circumstances in your life, you're not only reliving the past again and again, you're also impacting your future days with it. Let it go for good. Stand in front of the mirror. Why just listening to affirmation would not help. What also impacts you is what you say to yourself. As I always say, what others say about you is less powerful than what you whisper to yourself. So ensure that what you whisper to yourself is what builds you, not what breaks you. Okay. So that's pretty much about self-worth. I hope I have been able to add a little value to those people who are struggling with self-worth. Trust me, I have been on that side of the situation where I was struggling so much with my self-worth. I may sound funny. But I do not like standing in front of me. I do not like looking at me. I know it's a problem, but I cannot help it. No, you can help it. Chandrani, you can help it. You know why you cannot stand, why you don't like standing in front of the mirror? Because people have told this so many times and made you understand that you are not beautiful. Trust me, people have made you feel that you are not beautiful. And beauty is something which is very subjective. It is not dependent on the standards of Aishwarya Rai or Sushmita Sen. Beauty comes in every shape and sizes, in every colors, in every way, with acne, with pimples, with everything. It just talks about how much struggle you have gone through. You can't expect, we don't have 25 makeup artists sitting with us, right? That we'll wake up in the morning and somebody will do our hair, somebody will do our skin. No, we'll have wrinkles, we'll have dark circles. It just says that no matter how much we have gone through, we are still standing strong. And you have gone through a lot, you're still going through a lot. So make mirror your friend. That is your first step of self-worth. When you start praising yourself in standing in front of the mirror without comparing yourself with anybody, that's the day you have taken the major step in your life to change from limit to limitless. Trust me, you know you are worthy of everything in this world. Just don't let any stupid societal standards stop you from anything. You know, I have been bullied so much throughout my life for body weight. I have reduced body weight because of my medical conditions, not for anybody else. But it had impacted me so much that I had stopped eating at certain point of time, and I had low blood pressure and everything. Don't do that. It is not worth it, because those people will continue to talk. The only thing they know is how to talk. But you know, you have been given 2 years. Listen from one side. If you can listen to them, listen to me also, na. So you have the listening power is there. So if you're listening to the bad thing, listen to the good things. Stand in front of the mirror. वो जो पर्दा है, जरा पर्दा तो हटाओ. So हटा के stand in front of the mirror. Appreciate that कितना कुछ हो चुका. 2 operation, so much of chemotherapy, so much of radiation, and you're still standing strong. I bet any film stars can do that without any makeup artist. So please don't stop telling yourself you are not beautiful. You are beautiful. Each one of us are beautiful. Srishta is saying, day by day, I'm learning so much from you, Gulli. Thank you so much for always being there for me. Always. Lovely session. Lots of food for thought. More power to you. Thank you, Shomando. I hate camera as well, which you also know. Okay, if you hate camera, the best way to fall in love is to take more pictures of yourself without filters. Okay, and even if you want to take filters, take filters. How does it even matter? मरने के बाद तो एक ही फोटो में लटकना है. So you might as well want to take pictures every day. Start loving yourself. Self-worth also comes from self-love. Trust me. So please don't let any Tom, Dick, and Harry tell you that you are not beautiful. No matter what has been told to you, choto wala, just let it go. You are much more capable than that. Okay? Don't let anybody put you down. Because those who are putting down, that is how they are getting their self-worth. Don't let it happen. Much love, loads of love. Loads of love to all of you. So take care, everyone, and we'll come back with our next live next Friday. We are doing very less lives because of my health. And next Friday, we have another requested topic, which is called OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder. So till then, please work on your self-worth for a change, just for a change. Live your life for yourself and not to praise or not to, make anybody else happy. All right. Thank you, everyone. Please take care.